Now, the thing about that is...
Hey, start all over. I want to film it and put it online. It's good for discussion. Don't look at me like that.
It is. It really is.
Okay. Okay, so what we're talking about is entropy and the inevitable heat death of the universe. The heat death of the universe is one theory about... Just not even going to pretend it's there. Okay. The inevitable heat death of the universe is a theory about the ultimate fate of the universe that states that entropy is going to reach its maximum amount, and when it does so, any kind of chemical reaction is going to be impossible, including life. What entropy is you can think of entropy as kind of like disorganization, or...
Chaos or something?
Yeah, chaos or disorganization. Say you take a pack of cards, and it's a freshly opened pack of cards, and, you take it out, it's ordered ace 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you throw it on the ground, and mix it all up, and you shuffle it. Just say you shuffle it. You put it out of order. You have increased the entropy of that deck of cards. That's basically what entropy is. It is disorder. It is disorganization.
Okay, so entropy is like, it's an actual force and not just an idea?
Yes. It mostly occurs in chemistry, but let's also take... Let's say you have like I was saying before, you have a cup of coffee. And, it's black coffee, just came out of the pot. And then you have a little cup of cream. You have these two separate organized things. Everything is ordered. Everything is organized. And then you pour the cream into the coffee and you see it all mixed together and everything. That increases the entropy of the cup of coffee because everything is now out of order, everything is mixed together. And the thing is, if you were to then try to get the cream out of the coffee, you can't. It's mixed together. You possibly can through some sort of chemical reaction, but it would require even more energy and even more disorganization to make that happen. And I'm pretty sure as I'm talking about this, there's going to be some astrophysicist that's going to click on this and be like, I'm completely wrong. If so, please feel free to say so. We're talking to a college dropout. Anyways, say the same thing happens with, like, cake. You mix together all the ingredients and you bake it together. Afterwards, taking the milk, the butter, the flour, the eggs out of the cake and putting them back into their original states is... First of all, it's damn near impossible. Second of all, it's just gonna, if it is possible, it'll take a process that's gonna require even more energy and even more disorganization than it did to actually put together. It's easier to mess something up than it is to clean it up. So, the amount of disorganization and the amount of messiness, I guess you could say, in the universe is more than zero. Because you cannot reverse it. When you try to reverse it, you're just going to make it go up more. So, as that number goes up, what heat death says is that there is a maximum that it can reach. That as the amount of entropy goes up in the universe, it's going to at some point reach its maximum. All the energy is going to get used up. Nothing's going to be possible because it can't get any more disorganized. And everything's just going to kind of go out into kind of a quietness. All the temperatures in the universe are going to reach the same temperature. Chemical reactions are not going to be possible. And it's just going to reach its end. It has a lot more to do with temperatures and everything like that. But I'm trying to explain it as a person that doesn't study this stuff. If you really want to know more about this stuff, you should probably just look it up. Because you'll probably get it explained to you a lot better than I just did.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it at all. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure most of that just went over your head.
Oh, wow, really?
Sort of.
Anyway, no,
That big science stuff anyway.
Yeah, so, basically it's just chaos is pretty much just gonna ruin everything.
Yeah.
Long story short.
It has a lot to do with the second law of thermodynamics, but, a joke that I've seen on the internet a couple times about the second law of thermodynamics kind of plays out the whole Fight Club thing. It's the second law of thermodynamics is that you don't talk about thermodynamics. But it's just, it has a lot more to do with temperatures, because as, one temperature enters another temperature, you try to make everything more organized, it's just going to become more chaotic. And that's the big theory about it. However, you'll watch a lot of these shows like Discovery Channel and stuff like that, and they're going to talk about the end of the universe like it's going to be more like something like the Big Crunch, or like the Big Rip. Nobody really talks about heat death except for one thing really did, and that was a story by Isaac Asimov called The Last Question. And
No, probably not Doctor Who. Anyway.
God knows what Doctor Who's going to do with them. Like, the first thing got was Utopia, but we're talking about something different. But yeah, they're always talking about those different things, except for Isaac Asimov in the story called The Last Question, in which over the course of trillions of years, by the way, that's how long it's going to take for this to occur, so don't worry, you're not going to kill the universe by making a cup of coffee. But,
well, eventually, but we won't be alive to see it.
And that's the thing, though, like, you talk about heat death and everything, and, like, I went online and looked at this a couple times, and, people were asking, how can you... This also happens in the last question. How can you prevent the heat death of the universe? How can you not contribute to the entropy of the universe? And, people will joke around and say, don't drink ice water and stuff like that. But here's the thing. Even if you stopped, if the Earth just stopped putting out entropy, let's say the entire solar system, because the Earth isn't always going to be here. Let's say the entire solar system stopped putting out things that are going to increase entropy. Let's say that stopped. It's only going to prevent the heat death of the universe by 5 seconds, because all the natural occurrences in the universe, stars using their nuclear fusion, like their nuclear reactions, black holes, galaxies, everything, they increase entropy so much that even if our solar system stopped, it's only going to prevent it by a couple of seconds. But in the story of The Last Question by Isaac Asimov, over the course of trillions of years, people were asking this computer system called AC, and it's different incarnations ever since, like, 100 years from now. How can we reduce the growth of entropy, or something along those lines? And every single time, it was something along the lines of, there's not enough data to answer that question. And, over the course of years, there's not enough data for a meaningful answer. That's what the answer was. And over the trillions of years, people, at certain points would ask this computer that question, and it would continue stating there's not enough data for a meaningful answer, or different versions of that, because it was a different computer every time. When, finally, at the end of time, they asked the question again, and the computer said, I have been correlating this data since my creation, and I am close to finding the answer, but it's still going to take me more time. And this is at the collapse of the universe, at which point mankind fused its consciousness with the AC and pretty much became God. I'm not going to spoil the ending of it. It's a really good story. You can even find it online. It's called The Last Question by Isaac Asimov. But
you're so passionate about this.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
Oh, we already did.
That's the thing.
Why do you think
That's the thing about this. I don't even know that much about this stuff. Most of the stuff you can find out by going on to Wikipedia and stuff like that. If you really want a good, meaningful answer to this, you really gotta ask, like, a chemist or an astrological physicist. I'm not a good person to ask this. Ask. So.
Well, apparently you are, because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're so passionate about, the universe just...
God of the opposite of entropy.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
I know, I just found that. It puts order into chaos. So, if you ever need to fix entropy...
Well,
pray to...
Well, that kind of goes into the point of it. The only way to reverse entropy will take a godlike force, because there is nothing we could do to bring down entropy. When we try to bring it down, we're just going to make it worse.
I'm sure you could. Maybe not from a science standpoint, but I'm sure we could come up with...
And this is where religion comes in, because you have to pray to Jesus to save your soul.
Or, there's gigantic pantheons of other gods and, goddesses who actually do stuff. No offense to any Christians. Sorry, that was very uncalled for.
Don't get you started on religion. Where's your fedora there, you atheist?
Not all atheists wear fedoras.
Well, the worst ones do.
Okay, the whole thing about the fedora thing is, like, yeah, those guys are assholes. They're ruining it for everybody else. Yeah, let's just do that to them.
Burn them? What, burn fedoras or burn the people? Or
Burn
both?
fedora. That's not right. We shouldn't be burning people. They burnt the witches, you know.
No, I'm just kidding. We shouldn't be burning anybody.
Especially the witches.
Oh, I'm all for it. I mean...
I'll burn you. There's your entropy. I'm gonna add some chaos into your life.
Well, yeah.
And thus you have contributed to the inevitable heat death in the universe. Congratulations.
My matches.
Yeah.
Ain't no skin off my ass. You know, no, I'm gonna be dead.
See, the thing is, we're saying that's trillions of years from now, and, you know, we don't even have to worry about that, and then trillions of years from now, they won't be able to say that. All they'll be able to say is, oh shit, we should have thought sooner. But like I said,
My bad.
there isn't anything we can do about entropy. Like, it's inevitable. It's gonna happen. No matter what we do, it's gonna happen.
The news just say it's not gonna happen, like, tomorrow, or 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. Like, you know, with all these, the world's ending 2012, the Mayans.
Yeah, it totally ended in 2012, let me tell
the
you.
thing is, like, you know...
There is your entropy.
I don't know what the exact science behind the, you know, prediction that's going to take trillions and trillions and trillions of years from now. But here's the thing.
One of the Norse apocalypses is coming up, might I add. Ragnarok.
But the thing is, by the time entropy reaches its maximum and everything stops in the universe, everything would be long gone by then. The universe would have gone dark. All the stars would have gone out. All the black holes would have evaporated. There would already be nothing by that time. It would just be black, empty space.
So we kind of notice.
Well, maybe not.
We we probably wouldn't even be here. Well, the thing about the last question, Isaac Asimov, is at that point they assumed that by then humans will be immortal. They would have already discovered the secret of immortality and not dying, and everybody would just be living as an ethereal consciousness. But
this isn't a Lovecraft novel either.
No, this is way far away from Lovecraft. I don't think Lovecraft did he ever do science fiction?
Yes.
Are you stupid? Oh, well, the kids are home, so...
Yeah.
Alright, well, I'm going to put this up and see if we can get someone to get on your case.
We can talk more about this stuff later if you really want to.
Yeah, okay, well...